When you work in Google Sheets, you may find that once in a while you want to refer to another place within a spreadsheet or maybe within the same file. You may want to refer people to a totally different document or maybe even a website. And how can you do that? Well, you can create a link. Hi, I'm Terry, one of the Consumer Technology Specialists for Mid-Continent Public Library, and let's look at links and hyperlinks in Google Sheets. As we look at our example today, we can see that we are wanting to have a very small spreadsheet that has some information about Mid-Continent Public Library. And the very first thing here in A3 is be sure to visit our website. And so what we want to do is type in the link. Now the link is visible to everyone. It's not hiding under some text. So in C3, I'm just going to type www.mymcpl.org and press enter. Because Sheets is web-based, I may not actually need to add in the www, whereas if it weren't web-based, I would need to type that in. So let's see, mymcpl.org, and that works as well. Let me go back to my original typing here, and when I click on C3, it drops down a toolbar that is the website, Mid-Continent Public Library, even shows me the logo of the library. And then to the right of that, I could copy this link and paste it someplace. I could edit the link if I need to do that, or I could remove the link if I want to keep the text, but I no longer want to keep that link. Well, we're just going to test our theory here. Click on Mid-Continent Public Library, and there is our home page. When we give people a link to follow, and let me just click in A1, generally we don't want them to actually see the link, the path, but here in A1 I'm going to click, and then I have two choices. I can either go to the toolbar and find the link, which is between J and K on my toolbar, and I can insert a link, and notice that it also says that I could use Control K. I'm going to click on that toolbar button, and it says, well, now what do you want to do? Do you want to search for the link? Do you want to paste in a link? What would you like to do? And it even gives me some of the recent files that I have created within Sheets and actually Docs as well. So within my Google account. Well, I know that this is my MCPL.org, and then I could either press enter or click on apply on the right. And it really gives me the same drop-down, doesn't it, of Mid-Continent Public Library. I can copy, I can edit, I can remove. I'm going to click on Mid-Continent Public Library just to make sure that theory is correct. And sure enough, here is our home page yet again. I've added to our example just a little bit here because we also might decide, depending on where your mouse is and how you've been thinking during the day, you might also decide that instead of using the toolbar, you want to use the menu bar. So we could go up to our menu bar and go to Insert, which is the fourth choice. And then as we come down, it's about halfway down in this list, and we could create a link here. Now notice that over to the right, it's also a reminder that we can use Control K. Well, we'll click on link, and this says go to our YouTube channel. So our YouTube channel is youtube.com/MCPLMO. And let's see if it's going to let us do it. We may have to add www at the beginning, but we'll click apply. Oh, look at that. And it immediately found our channel. So we can click on that link and it opens YouTube. And here we have Mid-Continent Public Library at MCPL MO. And so here is where you can find our videos if you decide that you would like to review some information about Google Sheets, Google Docs, and other different kinds of information. While finding information or finding files that you have saved with your Google account is fairly easy, what happens if you want to find a file that is saved, say, someplace else on your desktop, and you would like to create a link to that? Well, that's a little more complicated. So, for example, here we have our new piece of text that we would like to add a hyperlink. I'm going to minimize this workbook, and then I'm going to come to my desktop, and I'm going to go to Example Linked Document, and I'm going to right-click on it. Now, when I do that, in the first part of that second section of the shortcut menu, it even says, well, I can copy this link, and I need to pull this box down a little bit. And so here is now the link to where I can actually get to this document. And then it even gives me some choices of who can see the document that I've linked to, but I'm just simply going to click on copy, and then I'm going to go back to Sheets, and this time I'm going to press Control K, and Control K acts exactly like Insert on the menu bar or the toolbar button, and then I'm just going to paste it in, Control V, and I can apply on the right. And it even gives me that little toolbar. I'm going to click on the link, and it opened up a Word document simply by adding in the hyperlink. And then we can close that. If you have a lot of sheets in the same file, it can be kind of hard to find them after a while. So what you can do, just as a courtesy to anyone who is going to look at your particular file in Google Sheets, is to create a table of contents. And it's easy enough to do. You just type table of contents at the top. And then let's say that you want to link to, and I have sheet 1 here, but let's say that we want to link to the example sheet. Then I would type that in. And this time, another way to find a link and create a hyperlink is to right-click, and I want to insert a link. Now, instead of searching or pasting a link, because any of these choices just don't quite do what I need to do, down at the bottom of this dialog box, it says Sheets and Named Ranges. So I can go to the right, where I have the right pointing arrow, and it says, okay, what sheet do you want to link to? And I'm going to go with Example. And so now I can click on Example and test my theory, and it takes me to, look at the bottom here in the lower left, the example sheet. And I could go through, let's see, the next one is ABC Company 1, ABC Company 1, and again, I could right-click, insert a link, go to Sheets and Named Ranges at the bottom, and go to ABC Company 1. And to test it out, I click on that link, hyperlink, and it shows me the information on that sheet. Now, isn't that just a really nice way, a courteous way to handle a file that has a lot of sheets that people kind of have to go through to find what they're looking for? Let's go back and look at ABC Company 1 one more time, because here you'll notice that this is a very abbreviated profit and loss statement where it gives you the income of a company, the expenses of a company, and then it even tells us that if we want to know the net income or the, well, at least to my thinking, the profit, it's the total income minus the total expenses. And if I click in D15 and I look at the formula bar, it even shows me that I am taking D6, the total income, and subtracting from it D13, the total expenses. But there's another way to do this kind of math. So let me go over to ABC Company 2, where now we have something that's called named ranges. And in the future, we'll do a video on how to create named ranges. But here in D6, where I have that income, that total income, notice that here in D6 it says the sum is C4 through C5, and in D13 it even says the sum is C9 through C12. But then when I come down here to D15, it says total income minus total expenses. So how do I figure out what total income is and what total expenses is? What I need to do is come up to the menu bar to Data, and then down about to the middle where it says Named Ranges, and I can click on that. And on the right, I see where the ranges are named. So profit is ABC Company 2, tab, and cell D15. Total expenses is ABC Company 2, D13, and that's correct. Total income is ABC Company 2, D6. And as I hover my mouse on these items on the right, you can see that they are kind of color-coded and they have borders around them on the left. I have simply substituted words for cell references. Now, there's some pros and cons to using named ranges, but it's a really easy way sometimes to figure out how to write a formula. Well, we can go to example yet again, and this time we're going to go to profit because we want to know what our profit is. And I'm going to use Control K. And in Sheets and Named Ranges, I'm going to go to that right arrow and come down to where it says Named Ranges. And here I have those ranges that we see on the right. I can click on Profit, and it gives me a link to Profit. Now it also then, of course, lets me click on that with my little pointy finger to take me directly to cell D15 in Sheet ABC Company 2. That is really slick. So using links and hyperlinks with Sheets can help people navigate your files, navigate to websites, navigate to other files, and it makes their life so much easier, and it helps you really expand your explanations in a very easy and straightforward manner. To learn even more, be sure to go to mymcpl.org/online learning for such great resources as Universal Class, Learning Express Library, LinkedIn Learning, and Udemy Business. We also premiere videos every Wednesday and Friday at 1 o'clock. If you miss a video premiere, you'll still be able to find it later when it's convenient for you. You can find us on Facebook at MCPL 360, and you can find us on YouTube by going to our MCPL MO channel.